Last time on The Gate of Steiner.
Damn cicadas won't shut up. But he's a guy. Oh, okay, Ocarina. I get it. I mostly frequent the occult board, the future technology board, and sometimes the physics board. I search for threads on mass disappearance phenomenon, or the Makase Kurisu's stabbing, but turn up nothing. So were those hallucinations after all? When I peek at the occult board, I find posts in multiple threads from someone claiming to be John Titor. Wait, John Titor is back. John Titor appeared on an American BBS 10 years ago, claiming to be a time traveler. He claimed to have traveled from the year 2036 in order to obtain an old computer, the IBM 5100. His claims started quite a storm among the BBS denizens. Titor also made several accurate, if fragmentary, predictions of future events. The start of the Iraq War, the spread of Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, for example. That is a tongue twister. To prove he was from the future, he explained the principles behind his time machine and provided pictures of its operation manual. But after about 4 months, he disappeared without ever revealing his identity. At one point, his predictions gained popularity, even in Japan. Yes, he certainly did get some things right, but on the other hand, he missed several others. Some of his posts contradicted each other too. That's why to this day, most people doubt his authenticity as a time traveler. Wait a second. Wouldn't that make sense though? If he traveled to the past and revealed these predictions, would that not make sense that some of them wouldn't come true? I guess it depends on the time travel theory you're using. So after 10 years of silence, that same John Titor is now on a Japanese BBS? Ridiculous. It's obviously a troll. First of all, John Titor is American, yet now he's posting on that channel in Japanese. Let's take a look at his posts. Well, we need to really read up on some of the terms that they've been throwing at us. We'll do that soon. I don't expect you to believe that I came from the year 2036. I see that everyone would like to know more about my time machine. Time travel technology was developed by CERN. They completed the first time machine in 2034. Time travel, lol. John Titor, lol. More details on the time machine. Do they sell time machines? How much do they cost? I've got about 100 million yen saved. Can you send me one? Trolls. CERN has a monopoly on time machines. Not even the most powerful nations on Earth can acquire one, to say nothing of private citizens. CERN used their time machine for power. By 2036, the world had become a dystopia. There is no war, no conflict. However, that is a false peace founded on the complete eradication of liberty. What does LOL mean? Did you come to this time? Why the Akiba satellite crash? What's the Akiba satellite crash you're doing? Wait guys, Titor-sen doesn't understand at-channel lingo. Let's keep it simple, okay? If you know what I mean. Get a trip code, asshole! I came here to change my present, in other words, your future. My mission is to destroy CERN's dystopia and restore freedom to the world. This is a wonderful time you're living in. Everyone is free, but you will lose it all in just 20 short years. It is vitally important that you understand what the future has in store. What is a trip code? I might get one if you tell me what it is. You said only CERN has time machines. You have a time machine. That must mean you're working for CERN. Therefore, your goal can't be to destroy CERN's dystopia. You're a fraud, QED. What's a dystopia? Google it. How can CERN take over the world in just 20 years? Look at the Middle East. You've been reading too much manga if you think you can get these guys to stop killing each other. Who asked you to change the future? You're trying to play God? If they're promising world peace, and I, for one, welcome our new CERN overlords. But it's a dystopia, you idiot. Do you not understand what that means? Ugh. My time machine is a prototype, reverse engineered from stolen CERN technology. Compared to their time machine, its capabilities are quite limited. In 2036, the world is ruled by a single all-powerful governing body. They control every aspect of our lives, deciding what we will eat, where we will live, and whom we will marry. There is no privacy and no choice. Anybody who dares oppose them is eliminated. There are no trials. In movies and stuff, small changes to the past cause huge changes to the future. You've already changed the present by coming here. What happens if you make unexpected changes to the future? Implying CERN rules the world? Do you even know what CERN is? Lol. OP is a troll. So if we find his dad and kill him, then this time traveler, Lamau, will never be born and we won't have to listen to this bullshit, am I right? I want to know if you can meet your past self. Can you wait, can you have self-cast? Cast? Or self-cest? Oh, Jesus! That just clicked in my mind. You're talking about the so-called grandfather paradox. That was debunked. This world line has a divergence of 0.571024% compared to the world line I came from. Killing my father would alter divergence, creating a world line where my father is dead. However, it would not erase this world line. I would go on existing. CERN is a particle research or physics research institution that hasn't changed in 2036. It is possible to meet yourself. The prevailing theory in my time is that nothing would happen. I, however, haven't met my past self. If you're really a time traveler, then fucking prove it. Post Time Machine pics or GTFO. The many worlds interpretation? Well, slow down, bro. So they're using the many world line theory then. Like, the idea is that you would go into the past, you would change an event, but it would just split and create a different reality than the one you came from. Cool. Research institution taking over the world. Well, what? I mean, it's possible if they came into a power of a time machine, literally no one could fuck with them. What do you do against that? And if they're smart enough to make a time machine, they obviously know how to alter the past in some meaningful way. Especially if what they've done already is create a single governing body that's themselves CERN to take over the future world. I do not feel the need to prove that I am what I say I am. I am only posting these messages on a whim. My mission comes first. What are world lines? Can you meet yourself from another world lines? What happens if you do? Late reply, but a trip code is a way to identify posters. Put a number sign password after your name. Hello, backpedaling. World lines are like an infinite number of rivers flowing in parallel. Along the way, they are consistently branching out into new world lines. This is called divergence. For example, whether or not you post on this message board has practically no effect on this world line's divergence. But if you were murdered, let's say, then divergence would change. However, it would only change by about 0.00002%, if that. A single human being's death is not terribly significant on a global scale. Wars, disaster, acts of terrorism, and other events that cause widespread death and destruction have a much greater effect on divergence. Thanks for telling me about the trip code, so I'll make sure to use this one from now on. I'm starting to get tired, so let's pick up again tomorrow. It's been fun talking to everybody. It looks like they've already made an archive of these threads. Of course, there have been sites dedicated to John Titor for years now. The post closely resembles what the original John Titor wrote 10 years ago. I've read one of the books on Titor. That's how I know. This new John Titor is clearly an imposter. There are many Titor fanatics on @channel. He's not exactly a household name in Japan, but I doubt anyone would fall for this level of trolling. As I continue the read, however, I find the response the opposite of what I expected. Everyone is accepting this tram traveler as if this were his first appearance. Huh? Nobody has ever even mentioned his appearance 10 years ago. Finding this strange, I try posting a retort, but everyone ignores me. What the hell? You can figure this out if you do a little research, people. There's the original John Titor thread archive in English, and plenty of Titor blogs in Japanese. I enter John Titor's name into a search engine. 12 matches. Wait, only 12? Moreover, all 12 are about the current Titor's postings on @channel. I can't find a single trace of the Titor from 10 years ago. Bizarre. This just can't be. I searched for information on Titor a few years ago. Back then, I got tens of thousands of hits. Is this search engine filtered? I I try searching on another site just to make sure, but it gives the same result. What is this madness? It feels like I've stumbled onto another plane of reality, literally. Could this be another organization conspiracy? That's interesting. The mind's a wonderful thing, dude. So what we know is the initial time that we went to that lecture for Dr. Nakabachi, Makase Kurisu was stabbed. Nakabachi was stealing John Titor's theories, according to the mad scientist Hiryo Kiyoma, and a weird satellite landed on top of the building. We fast forward, all of a sudden, everyone's gone. The satellites crashed into the side of the building. That occurred directly after we sent a text message to Daru. That text message is fragmented and sent and dated a week ago. So, that makes you wonder, what the fuck happened? Now we got this guy talking about multiple world lines and a divergence number. So, the possibility is we somehow ended up on a different world line. That's the only thing I can think. This is getting crazy already. I didn't expect the game to take off so quick. These past 2 days, I've been surrounded by nothing but chaos and confusion. I'll call Daru. He'll know about Tita, for sure. After all, I've talked to him about Titor before. I only vaguely remember the details of that conversation. But I'm positive the conversation happened. Oh no, Daru, please don't say you don't remember it. By the time I dig my phone out of my bag, I no longer feel like making the call. Instead, I send him an email on the way back to the lab. He replies with his location. By May Queen, he means May Queen plus Nyan, a maid cafe. Daru's a regular there. Apparently 3D cat maids are his thing too. How dare he cheat on his 2D waifus with 3D waifus? How dare he? I should probably actually open up the phone here if I can remember the damn controls, because I play this with little bouts in between. Oh no! That's not what I meant to do. May Queen plus Neon. Was there two? Oh my god. It's only a 3-minute walk from the lab. Coming from Kuramebashi Dori, take a left at Sumakoisaka Crossing and you'll find it. That's where I'm headed now. It's usually busy in Akiba during summer break, but now it's even busier because of a Radicon incident. The area was blocked off yesterday, but it doesn't look like they could keep the main road closed for 2 days straight. I haven't seen a single police officer today. But the Radicon building still seems off limits. The entrance shutters are closed shut and sealed with yellow police tape. We are here now in Akihabara, the day after the unexplained satellite crash. The police barricade has been lifted, and a tremendous number of people have gathered in front of the station. The satellite's origin is still under investigation. We're told that it can't be removed until the authorities have more information. According to the police, the satellite does not appear to be dangerous. However, tourists and local business owners have raised concerns. The media has a dozen cameras set up outside of the police line, and there are nearly twice as many onlookers as reporters, enough to fill the entire street with people. Everyone's aiming their phone cameras at the satellite-like object. So many people. Living in Akiba, you get used to crowds and big events, but a gathering of this size is still unusual. I wonder when they'll get rid of that thing. I hope it doesn't explode or something. They've been letting people back into the area, so I guess there's no danger. Still, considering its unknown origin, I'm surprised there isn't more security. Today, like always, otakus are shopping for doujinshi, import games, electronics, or whatever strikes their fancy. Oh, them and no doujinshi games, huh? Oh wait, I keep thinking, for some reason I keep thinking the list of different terms they've used is my phone. I don't know why. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at that. What was it, the tips list? It's been a little while here. It was the helps list. No. Gone vague. No. Yeah, I think it was the tips list. Yes, it was. Cool. Okay, let's read through these. Doujinshi. Fortunately, I know what this is. Fan-created amateur manga, which are often but not always adult in nature. They are sold at special doujinshi events, the biggest of which is the twice-annual Comic Giga Market, known as by fans as Kami Ma, the mother of adult comic books. Ugh. I already read it. Why is it still marked as new? That's annoying. Okay, whatever. Moving on. Daibiru, a skyscraper with offices and a commerce center that opened alongside UPX in 2003, connected to UPX by overpass. That's cool. I like those little overpasses between buildings. I find those really cool. On the internet, it is an unknown rule to say this whenever you see an image of someone or something looking towards the camera. Don't look at me! I'm not sure I get that one, actually. The opposite of a utopia, for example, a completely regulated society in which most people are denied privacy and freedom. Dystopia. There's a lot of anime about that, and different shows, actually. Electromagnetic waves. Waves that exhibit properties of both electricity and magnetism, first formally postulated by Maxwell in 1864. The electric field and magnetic field's oscillations cause them to mutually propagate each other, resulting in a wave that radiates through its surroundings. This is why it's called electromagnetic radiation. EM waves are divided by frequency into radio waves, infrared light, visible lights, ultraviolet lights, X-rays, and gamma rays. Ooh, they have some really cool terminology in this game. The elementary particle. Elementary, my dear Watson. The smallest unit of matter. However, the definition of what constitutes an elementary particle is unclear. Certain elementary particles have a corresponding antiparticle with opposite charge. I'm surprised about all the terms they're throwing in here. This is nice. Fujoshi, a term for female otaku with a particular interest in yaoi, or works of fiction that depict homosexual relationships between men. It does not apply to female otaku in general. Fan-created anime, we read that already. Oh my god, there's so many things to look through. ATF fictional short for Akihabara Techno Forum, a meeting hall located inside Daibiru. Several universities and research institutions hold special seminars there. I think what we'll do is at like the end of every episode going forward, I'll probably read through these and then say goodbye, guys. That way we don't actually have a big break in the middle of the episode, so that's probably what we'll do going forward. Fictional. One of several stores in Akihabara that sell replica weapons. Items include Japanese Sengoku period swords, European Middle Age swords, and knight armor. That's kind of cool. That makes me think of Unlimited Blade Works, though. Huh. That's how much the Fate series really stuck in my mind. Though Fate Zero is better, in my opinion, than Fate and Unlimited Blade Works. Both are pretty good, though. Anyways, a vending machine that dispenses small toys at random. One cannot tell what the toy is before opening the capsule. Chinyunyabu. Literally 8th grade syndrome. A term referring to a mindset exhibited primarily by teenage males, also used as a derogatory term to refer to older people who still exhibit this mindset. Characterized by an affected attitude of nihilism and cynicism. I cannot English half the time. Cynicism, anyways. Extreme self-centeredness, delusions of power or superiority, and a consuming fear of being treated as a child. The person exhibiting these symptoms believes that they are cool, but most observers find them pathetic. Chiunbyu refers to often abbreviated shuni, also refers to the fictional tropes that teenage males often enjoy, such as ancient conspiracies, superpowers, especially powers sealed in the character's eye or right arm. Oh, that anime. Norse mythology, battles for the fate of the multiverse, etc. Consummate Shinjubu case will work such elements into its own personal backstory. Ocarina is a textbook example. Feels bad, man. Oh, cosplay! Wonderful. Abbreviation of costume play, to dress up in costume, most often as a fictional character. People who cosplay are called cosplayers, which can be shortened to layers. Layers? Really? I've never heard that term. Many cosplayers make their own costumes, and some are just very good at wearing them. Fictional. Comic Giga Market, a massive otaku event held twice a year at Tokyo's Big Sight. Every Comic Ma, thousands of artists gather to sell their creations, which range from erotic manga based on popular anime to optional original figures, music, and games. The next Comic Ma will be held on August 15th. Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease is quite terrifying, actually. Another name for bovine spongiform encephalopathy. BSE, commonly known as mad cow disease, but only used in the case of human infection. Early symptoms include memory loss, abnormal movements, personality changes, dementia, and muscle stiffness. In severe cases, the patient may waste away for 1 or 2 years before dying of respiratory paralysis or other complications, which is quite terrifying if you think about it. Honorifics, Japanese. The Japanese employ a system of name suffixes that define the speaker's relationship to the addressee. The common honorifics are as follows. San, the most common honorific, used with strangers, people of equal status, and in general whenever one needs to be polite. When used after the given name Kiyoma-san, for example, it indicates a closer relationship. Kun, an informal name suffix generally used for male friends or male subordinates, also used by males towards female subordinates in professional environments. Chan, a diminutive suffix that indicates high affection, usually used for small children, young girls, or between close female friends. Tan, an even more diminutive version of the chan suffix, most often used for fictional characters, especially anthropomorphizations for added cuteness. Gosh, what? They like to throw the random, like, huge word you would never use in normal speech in this game for some reason. Shi, a literary honorific generally used by formal publications such as newspapers. Some otaku, such as Daru, use shi regularly. Oh gosh, I don't use it. IBM, an American computer company, not only do they develop and sell hardware and software, they also offer service and consultation to enterprises. In recent years, they have made the latter their main focus. IBM invented floppy disks and hard disk drives. I mean IBM? Kiraru-chan, the heroine of Rainet Kakeru. Her full name is Nishimura Kirari. She is a smart and athletic girl in 5th grade. She is also cute and has a good personality. Basically the perfect girl. Passionate about fashion, hates mushrooms. Louise-chan, the main heroine of the anime The Familiar of 10. The Familiar of 0, you mean. A tsundere. Her voice actress is the queen of tsundere. Sugimiya Rai, nicknamed Sugiyu. That has to be what they're referencing. Miko, shrine maidens, priestesses in the Shinto religion. Miko typically dress in a white kimono with a red hakama or skirt. Their role is to assist priests with performing rituals and events. There's a lot here, so I'll probably go over the rest at the end, I think, and we'll probably build up a few new ones. What I'm not sure on, though, Meisters, if you would like to see a separate video with all these discussed, or if you'd like to see them discussed at the end of the video. Either would be fine with me. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I think that will be a good way to handle it. Today, like always, otaku was shopping for doujinshi, import games, electronics, or whatever strikes their fancy. Aside from the scene at Radicon, it's the same as any other day. But I still don't understand what I saw yesterday. I've half accepted that the mass disappearance was just my imagination. Maybe I've become unable to distinguish reality from fantasy like the media likes to say about teenagers these days. With that thought in mind, I returned my gaze to the street. And there, in front of me, stands a woman holding her phone in front of her face. What? She took a picture. Her phone was clearly pointed at me. I tried to cover my face, but not quickly enough. I turned around just to make sure that she wasn't pointing it at someone behind me, but that doesn't seem to be the case. She's still staring at her phone. Hi. Without even glancing at me, she turns around and points her phone at some other pedestrian. Maybe she's just taking photos of everyone at the scene, not just me. But still, I need to have a word with her. The organization is after me, so I can't risk that photo getting out. Wait! She doesn't turn around. Is she so engrossed in her photography that she doesn't even notice me? Or did she not catch my magnificent native-level English? Hey, you with the phone camera. Wait, please wait. She turns back, finally noticing me. And of course, her phone turns with her. Hey, no pictures! Are you with the organization? She completely ignores my objection. And then she goes back to looking at her phone. Answer my question, are you with the organization? If she is, then I may have to take suitable measures. You're not. Even so, I can't let you keep that picture. The organization will stop at nothing to find my whereabouts, and they'll kill anyone who gets in their way. I need you to delete that picture immediately. Is she even listening? Sorry. Well, she finally speaks, just a whisper, but it's something. If I upset you... She lowers her head slightly in a bow. Or at least I think it's a bow. She's been looking down all this time, so I can't really tell. Before you apologize, I need you to delete that photo. I was shooting the scenery. Her fingers dance across her phone's keys with impressive speed, exactly the opposite of her annoyingly slow speech pattern. The scenery? You're a tourist. Wait, don't change the subject. Or is she one of those people who came to see the satellite? If that's the case, why did she take a picture of me? She shakes her head without looking at me. It's proof of where I was today. You're a strange lady. Kiryu. Moeka. Moeka? Moeka? Something like that. I didn't quite hear it. My name. I guess she's introducing herself. That's nice, but I just want her to delete that photo. I have a question for you. May I? First, the photo. There's an urban legend in Akihabara. Have you heard of it? An urban legend? What is she talking about? Don't tell me. There's a brilliant but insane mad scientist said to be lurking in Akihabara. Oh my god. And now that bright but insane mad scientist is the target of every assassin in the underworld. I've remained in this town for far too long. I'll need to make plans. Akihabara, you weren't such a bad town. I'm glad to, The Phantom, Retro PC. Huh? Retro PC? She replies with a nod or something like a nod. They say there's one in Akihabara. Oh, nothing about a mad scientist. I'm relieved, but also disappointed. At any rate, this is the first I've heard of a Phantom Retro PC. It's probably IBM 5100. A Retro PC? Do you mean like a Windows 98? That's the first model that comes to mind. But are 98s really that hard to find? She shakes her head slightly, or something like a shake. No, this. She turns her phone towards me. Screen shows an oddly shaped computer. It's hard to tell since the picture is in monochrome, but it looks like some kind of PC. It looks kind of familiar. Of course it is. I don't trust this lady. An IBM 5100. An IBM 5100? That's the computer John Titor tried to get. Her fingers twitch, I think. You've seen one? No. I've only heard the name. Coincidence? No. This could be the choice of Steins Gate. Know anyone who might know? Daru probably knows more about it. He's my favorite right arm, a super hacker capable of breaking into even M6 mainframe, or MI6's mainframe. The MI6 part is a slight exaggeration. If that ever did happen, Men in Black would break down our door and take us away. But the super hacker part is true. The depths of his computer knowledge is uncanny. Speaking of Daru, I'm supposed to meet him at May Queen plus Neon. I don't have time to stand and chat with some crazy lady I don't know. Well, I'm off, lady. Media scrum in moderation. I try to make a smooth exit, one-liner and everything, but she grabs my sleeve before I can disappear into the crowd. You didn't move fast enough, Kiyoma. What are you doing? Your email, please. What are you after? The super hacker. I guess she wants to hear Daru's story. It's my fault for mentioning him. Fuck, why did I do that? Well, I'm meeting up with Daru, so why don't I just take her along? No, wait a second. This could be a devious trap. Maybe she's really a spy sent to kidnap Daru. I'm defenseless without him. My only other ally is Mayuri, whose skills amount to costume design. So, she can make a good disguise, huh? I refuse! I'll never give up Daru. I slip past her and start walking faster. I glance back. She's following me. God damn it. I pick up the pace. She's still chasing me. Leave me alone. Stop following me. Unperturbed, she shows me her phone again. On the screen is the picture of me that she took. Yeah, you still haven't deleted it? Tell me, and I'll delete it. You dare blackmail me? Who do you work for? Oh, I like how you can do that still. That's really nice. I attempt to glare her into submission. But her eyes are already lowered. My glare is ineffective. I. She hesitates for a second. Work part-time at Arc Rewrite. What's that? An editorial company here in Akihabara. One of those companies that writes articles for magazines, hmm? Is this gloomy lady really fit for that kind of work? Wait, you plan on publishing my picture without permission, don't you? The mad scientist of Akiba unveiled! I can see the headlines now. That's all the organization will need to turn Akiba into a sea of blood. No, I must avoid that gruesome outcome at all costs. I have no choice. Very well. I accept your terms. At any rate, as long as she has that photo, I have no way of knowing how it might be used. I pull my email address and show it to her. Or pull it up. Looking back and forth from my phone to hers, she enters my info with terrifying speed. Of course, this woman is an Esper. I dub her power Shining Finger. Her magical thumb types cursed emails at 255 characters per minute. Whoever receives one dies. Really? She's done typing my address. It took all of 5 seconds. Name? Hyoin Kiyoma. Mad scientist. How is it spelled? First, Hyo for Phoenix, then In, and finally Kiyoma, which means a horrible truth that must never be revealed. Huh? Ho for Phoenix, then In, and finally Kiyoma, which means a horrifying truth that must never be revealed. I repeat my perfect explanation. This is the origin of my true name. Explaining the In part of Hyo-in would take too long, so I left it out. She enters my name with her head tilted to the side, like, huh? Like this. What the hell is this? Are you mocking me? She lowers her head a little more, an apologetic bow, I guess. Just hand me your phone, I'll enter it. She shakes her head, clutching her phone with both hands as if to protect it from me. Like a spoiled child who can't let go of a toy, she shields it from me with all her might. What does she think I'm going to do? Her reaction is a little depressing. Anyway, she's obviously not going to hand her phone over, so I ask her for her address instead. I'll send her a blank mail. She told me her name a few minutes ago, but I forgot already, so I enter her as Shining Finger. What am I doing standing here in the middle of the street? Let's hurry up and send her a blank email. I don't need to type anything. Are you sure about that game? I don't need to type anything? Kinda want to. I just need to give her my name. I already put her in my contacts, just send a blank email. Okay, it's gonna wait until I actually do it. Outgoing. She frowns while looking at her own phone. And then she glances my way. I can feel those eyes clearly saying, hurry up. But I'm hesitant. I'm not sure if it's a good idea to give her my true name. But regardless of how long I hesitate, I don't think that she'll let me go until I send her the email. She sure is persistent, if nothing else. It looks like I have no choice but to send the email. We exchange a few words and then I get away from her as fast as I can.